welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, welcome. I tend to make videos like this every so often because my life experiences, I guess that's what I wanted to say, because my life experiences, and I think that other, people can relate to what I go through a lot on a daily basis. Obviously, I talked about being neurodivergent, being different, being weird, being the odd person out, being the odd girl out, being the odd boy out, being just really different from society and diverting from societal norms and, who you're supposed to be, the following the script, diverting from everything and just going against the grain, and not just purposely doing it purposely, just doing it in a way where you don't know, we're oblivious to it, right? Like neurodivergent people, we don't know. Hopefully, can you guys see my cute dress? A lot of people love my dress over this weekend, so I wore it for this video. A lot of people do go through this. A lot of girlies go through this too, that have this insecurity about people liking them, or just they can have this halo effect. You have this halo effect, and if you don't know what this halo effect is, I'm gonna put a definition right here. And you just kind of bring light to any environment that you are in, and you're magnetic, and you're not trying to be. It's just who you are. And I have constantly told people, I'm not trying to be this way. This is my fashion. This is how I talk. This is just who I am as a girly. This is who I am as a person, as an individual. This is the way God made me. And I always, tell people that I've gotten to the point that I'm just I'm not explaining my neurodivergency anymore. I'm not explaining who I am as a person. I will not do that anymore, just to kind of make you feel comfortable. And I am here to say you don't have to do that either. So I just have a quick story. Out this weekend, and I meet new people all the time I go out. Obviously, I am an extrovert person with some ambivert ways and slivers of introvertness. So going out, meet a couple of people, met someone, and a girly, and we're just talking oh, she could be a new girly friend. She seems really, really cool. So our first initial vibe, we vibed. Energy was spectacular, and we got into the conversation of of traveling and where you've been, and all that stuff. So I had mentioned that I absolutely love the movie Clueless, right? I absolutely love the movie Clueless. That was actually one of the movies, such a fan cult favorite, with Alicia Silverstone and Stacey Dash. Those were my two girlfriends in my head back in the day. Those were my friends. Nobody could tell me anything about them two, because those were my friends. They were. And so I was I love Clueless. I wanted to move to Santa Barbara, California when I graduated high school. That was my dream. I wanted to be a doctor. And I wanted to move to Santa Barbara, California, and just live out the dream, and just want to have that Clueless life and Cher's closet. And then I told the girl that I was talking to, I was well, I can't really pick which one I like, Dion or Cher. I embody both of Dion and Cher. I just love them both, so I just can't everyone usually have a favorite, but both of them are my favorite. And she was oh yeah, I can definitely tell you know, because you're just bougie and everything like that. I understand. I understand. And I was looking at her like I smiled, you know, as she was saying what her thoughts was with me liking both of them. But the word bougie obviously triggered me, and kind of like, it didn't trigger me in a way like I was just upset. It was just like that was the word that stood out. Trigger. So bougie. That was the word that kind of like stood out. And I was like, that was an interesting choice of wording that she, you know, said. Like, she selected. Like, mind you guys, she didn't know me. I don't know her. Just meeting for the first day. And that's what she said. So I was like, I wonder, is that what I give off? Is that what I give off? Bougie is not normally a word that is kind of carried in a, I guess, positive light. Like, I am in no sense of the word bougie. I don't have bougie money. I don't have, like, I wish I had bougie money. Like, cha-ching. Like, honestly. And but it's not the first time that I have gotten that. And that's, I guess that's what was like, oh, that word again. And, oh, trigger, like, what is making people think that? So people will definitely, I'm bringing it back around, people will judge you or tell you about yourself before you even know them. Like, they'll tell you who they think you are without them getting to know who the real you are, which I honestly think that's a fallacy, that's a mistake on someone else's part. Because if you are constantly judging someone, and that doesn't mean like I don't want to be called bougie, cause bougie on the positive end of that, it's like you have a lot of money, you're higher in your social hierarchy or something, whatever. That's a positive sign or side to that. But I was like, oh, yeah, you know, it was fun, you know. Then we just went on to like the dance rave and, you know, just had a good time. But I did recognize throughout that whole, after that, like, exchange and just a talk, it was like I said, it was a good vibe. But after that exchange, you know, I kind of felt her eyes on me a little bit as I'm like meandering through like the event or whatever. I just knew like okay, she's like watching me. You know, it was a watch. Like, you know how you watch somebody and you be like, you're just like looking at them. And, you know, it was just, I just felt eyes on me. You know, you just feel someone's eyes on you and they're like thinking stuff. It was just weird encounter. This is what I go through sometimes, or all the time when I'm out, right? So I don't know, guys. Do you guys get that? Because it was just really, really interesting that she used that word. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, when people do that, well, when people first started doing it, I started to really hide everything that they thought. I started to hide like that. And I come to learn that what people's thoughts of you does not necessarily mean that is who you are or who you should become and everything like that. So yeah, I just started to sometimes, like, first I started to hide it, like I said, but I actually just started to just continue to be myself, because that is just something I just can't change. And that's just something that you can't change either. Like, if somebody thinks you're stuck up, or, you know, oh, she thinks she's all that, or he thinks he has all this money, or he thinks he's like, you know, he has all these girls around him and everything like that. Like, who do he think he is, and who do she think she is? I always say that I am exactly who I think I am. That is what's going around. I am exactly who I think I am, and probably exactly who you probably want to be, which they can take it any other kind of way. But you know, that's none of my business if they do. And just being neurodivergent in a way where people feel like, you know, you are something in their minds that they created is very interesting too, because I definitely make a point to not judge a book by its cover. And I think that is such a great lesson to live by, because I've met so many people in my life that I never thought, you know, just by looking at them, that they would know something of this nature, or they would know something of this culture, or they would know whatever, you know. And it feels so good to get to actually know a person and have a real conversation with them. So I try to not judge a person by its cover, and I love getting to know people and getting to talk to people from all walks of life. I think that is just a constant learning experience that I feel like everyone else should, you know, indulge in. Okay, I got my story out. I just wanted to tell you guys. I wanted to share that story with you guys, and I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh, you really just, oh, you're bougie, because I like of a certain movie or certain characters. I may have like sprinkles of those characters, but that is like not who I really am. Obviously, I do not live in Beverly Hills. I wish. But if you got to the end of this video, please like and share and subscribe. And I mean, if you're new here, like I said in the beginning, like welcome. Like, I am all things girly, anime, neurodivergent, pink, weird, quirky, whatever, you know, that's who I am. So thank you guys for watching this video, and until next time, I will see you later. Bye.